Good morning, book friends. This is Kat, and welcome back to my channel. Alright, today's video is going to be my August TBR, and I have a list of readathons that I'm going to do. Quite a few, I think 4 readathons. In addition to that, I do my countries and all of that good stuff. So before we jump into all the readathons and things, let's go ahead and see how I did last month. So if you saw my last month's video, you know that I did not play my TBR game. I in fact pulled 3 prompt cards from an old TBR game that I had. And so as long as I completed those prompts, I passed my TBR, but I really wanted to try try the mood reading thing, which I know this was technically not like a full-blown mood reading month, but it was just different than how I normally do things. So for the first prompt I had was, this was specifically for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, and it was the Muses, and I had to read a book about music or the arts. And so for that, I was supposed to read The Lady with the Dark Hair, and I did complete this book. The next one I was supposed to read was for Mermaid Marathon, and that one was Bippity Boppity Boo, read a book with an alliteration in the title. And for that, I read Prince of Song and Sea, and I did fulfill this prompt. The next one I had was for my own personal challenge, and I read the book of Acts this month. I also picked a book set during the time of the church being developed. And the prompt that I pulled for this one was Flopsome and Jetsome, read a book under 300 pages, and I read Sold into Freedom. This one was technically 310 pages, but I made it work for me, and I did complete it. And then the last one I had was for Alma's challenge, and that was to read a book set or published in the 1970s, and I'm going by publication date. And so I also pulled the card Poor Unfortunate Soul, and that is to pick the largest number of pages on my TBR. And I only had one book on my TBR set in the 70s, and that is I Dared to Call Him Father, the miraculous story of a Muslim woman's encounter with God. And as you can see, I'm still reading it, but it is, I am counting as a complete because I will finish this probably today because it's such a very, very engaging read. That I will call my TBR complete. So now that we see that, let's go ahead and see the rolls. I have decided to go with 4 rolls just because of the amount of readathons I'm doing, and typically 4 rolls is a good safe spot for me. If I happen to roll a double, then of course I could get another roll. So we'll just see what this TBR has in store for us. But yep, all right, roll number 1. Okay, so sorry for the lighting. It is later this evening, but I have my Tinkerbell that I'm going to be playing with. And this is where I ended up in June, I believe. Yes, in June. And I'm going to roll 2-sided dice. I am going to roll for a total of 4 times. If I happen to get a double, then I have to add a roll. And this is my husband's old spot, so. All right, here we go. Roll number 1. This one I'm just going to scoot into shot, but as you can see, we already started off with a double, so I have to add a roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is Father's Day. So right off the bat, roll number 1 was a double, so I will have to add an extra roll at the end of the 4 rolls. And so this one I landed on Father's Day, which basically is just to play the Wordle of the day. And so the Wordle of the day was whole, and this was like complete, or I'm thinking standalone. Like I don't have to read a book in a series, because the standalone is just one complete book. So one complete like story. So, that's what I thought. So I'm deciding to go with Everywhere to Hide by Siri Mitchell. I have heard this one on Katie's channel at Paperbacks and Ponytail. She really enjoyed this book. All I know about this book, from what I can remember, is that this is a mystery thriller suspense book, and it has a person who has face blindness, which I have not ever read a book like this before. And I think that it's a fascinating thing to pick up. Plus, I have read 2 Siri Mitchell's books and I really enjoyed them, especially State of Lies. So I'm excited to pick this one up. But yes, this is a standalone. So that is going on my TBR. All right, let's go to roll number 2. Roll number 2. Okay, a 6 and a 2, which is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 4th of July, which is a random state generator. Roll number 2, I landed on 4th of July, which is a random state generator. And so for the state I ended up getting Tennessee, which I had no books on my current TBR that I know of that is set in Tennessee, but I can also use an author that is from the area or is living in the area. And so when I searched that route, I found an author that I really have enjoyed a book by her, and that is Michelle Shockley. And the book that I chose is Count the Nights by Stars. And this one I know is a historical fiction. I have it pulled up. So basically, let me read you what the summary says. And it says, count your nights by stars, not shadows. Count your life with smiles, not tears. 1961, after a longtime resident at Nashville's historic Maxwell House Hotel suffers a debilitating stroke, Audrey Whitfield is tasked with cleaning out the reclusive woman's room. There she discovers an elaborate scrapbook filled with memorabilia from the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. Love notes on the backs of unmailed postcards inside capture Audrey's imagination with hints of a forbidden romance and troubling revelations about the disappearance of young women at the exposition. Audrey enlists the help of a handsome hotel guest as she tracks down clues and information about the mysterious Peaches and her regrets over one fateful day nearly 65 years earlier. 1897, outspoken and forward-thinking Priscilla Nichols isn't willing to settle for just any man. She's still holding out hope for love when she meets Luca Moretti on the eve of the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. Charmed by the Italian immigrant's boldness, Priscilla spends time exploring the wondrous sights of the expo with Luca until a darkness overshadows the months-long event. Haunted by a terrible truth, Priscilla and Luca are sent down separate paths as the night's stars fade into dawn. So, historical fiction, Christian fiction, I'm excited. All right, let's go to roll number 3. Roll number 3. Another double. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is series. All right, roll number 3 was yet another double, which adds another book to my TBR. And for this, I landed on series. So the book I'm deciding to use is the Ugly Duckling retelling, but it's called The Princess Search by Melanie Cellier. And this will actually complete a series for me, Yay! It is the Four Kingdoms series, and I am excited to complete a series. And I've never read an Ugly Duckling retelling, so that would work nicely. All right, let's go to roll number 4.
Roll number 4. Whew, I thought that was a double, but it's not. It was a 2. So we have 3. 1, 2, 3. This stands for ice cream, so random ice cream generator.
Roll number 4. I landed on random ice cream generator. So for this one, I generated 3 times and I got toasted marshmallow. So this thought process was thinking about maybe something with camping, or maybe something dealing with sweets, maybe, you know, s'mores or something. So I put the book Sarah Plain and Tall. And my thinking of this was, this is set during the pioneer time period. And when you go on the trail, you're eating like over a campfire. And so I kind of tweaked it. And so I thought campfire could go with toasting marshmallows, which I thought fit this prompt well. That's the book I put on. All right, let's go to roll number 5.
Okay, roll number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is the 4th of July again.
Roll number 5 was yet again 4th of July, and yet again it was a double. So another read, but that's okay. I did spin the wheel again, and for this one, I landed on Montana, and I did look on my TBR, could not find anything that I had there, nor any authors that I knew. And at this point, I didn't want to add a book that wasn't already on my TBR. So I ended up spinning it again. And I think I landed on New Jersey, ran into the same problem, spin again, because I'm really hoping to like take books off my TBR. And so I landed on South Carolina, and this one I actually had a book for. And this one is Lulu's Cafe by T.I. Lowell, and this actually has been on my TBR for a long time, and it's part of my 20 and 25 list. So this one I know deals with grief, but for the most part, I just know that this has been on my TBR for so long. This one I'm excited to pick up. All right, roll number 6.
Okay, roll number 6. Are you serious? Okay, that is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is a challenge prompt.
Okay, roll number 6, another double. This one I landed on a challenge prompt. So I have 2 books I'm going to pin against each other. The first book is going to be Red Arrows, and this is a second book in a series. I cannot remember this series. If I remember to put it down here, I will, but this is a Red Riding Hood retelling, and I think it's also like mixed with a Robin Hood retelling. So that one's going to go against The Apostle's Sister, and by Angela Hunt, and this is a retelling of the Apostle Paul, and this is following his sister. This is also part of a series. It's technically book 4 in a series, which I don't like reading series out of order, but I believe you can read these books out of order. Before I pull up the wheel, I will say I did tweak this part of the game. Usually when I get a couple, I would do an activity. I am tweaking it. No longer will I be doing an activity when I land on a couple. Instead, I'm going to put that as a free pick. A free pick just means I can decide whether or not if I want to pick a book, essentially a mood read, or I don't have to pick a book at all. So like a freebie. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up the wheel. Here are the list of names. I already shuffled it 3 times. So we're going to see if I'm going to be reading a book or if I get a free pick. Okay, I guess I'm reading a book. This one is Mother Gothel. Let me close out of that and let's see what Mother Gothel's prompt is. So Mother Gothel, I get to read the book with the more attractive cover. Okay, this is subjective, but out of the two covers I have, and I have my laptop so I can see them both side by side. Personally, what do I like? I really do like Red Arrow's cover better. I'm gonna pick Red Arrow's. So that is going on the list. Let's go see roll number 7.
Okay, that is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 20 and 25.
Roll number 7 was 20 and 2025. So this one I'm going to put on the charm bracelet. Now, I'm putting this back on because it is a summary read, and so technically school starts for us in August, but it's still like hot here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put this one on. And this is a multi-generational story dealing around this charm bracelet, and so we're just gonna see what this entails. Okay, let's see my 8th roll.
Okay, hopefully the last roll number 8. And it looks like it is, and that is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we landed right where we began. Challenge prompt.
And as you can see, it is indeed my last roll, but it's also a challenge roll. So, and we actually landed where we started, so that was kind of funny. So for this roll, the 2 that I'm gonna pin against each other are, I'm gonna pin The Butterfly and the Violin by Christy Cambrin, and this is a World War II book. Then I have the other book is an anthology. It is a Twisted Tales anthology, and it has a lot of like fairy tale retellings. So those are the 2 books that I'm doing, and so let's see if I will be reading a book or if I will be getting a free pick for this one. So I'm gonna leave Mother Gothel there. I don't know how I've been doing it, but if I've left it there or if I've gotten a new one, but I'm just going to respin. Chances are I probably won't get Mother Gothel again. All right, and this one looks like another villain. I could already see it, and that is Jafar. So Jafar's prompt is going to be the less attractive cover. Okay, so we have the most attractive cover and the less attractive cover. Out of the 2 books, let's see. Okay, I already know which one that's going to be, and that is going to be a Twisted Tale anthology. And this to me just doesn't compare with the other cover. So like I said, this is just a list of twisted tales written by different authors, and they are actually like 16 of them, and they have they're different from the books. And so some of these authors I have read from, some of them are new to me, so I am excited to pick this up. Okay, so those are my rolls, and now we're gonna get into the countries for this month. So last month I did pick out countries that I was supposed to get books, set in or written by authors from these countries, and so I got Austria and the Netherlands, and I did not read any books from these countries this past month. So I think I got overwhelmed again with the amount of vlogs I was doing, and then we had some great surprises that happened along the way this past month. So because of that, I was behind on videos and I didn't want to stress out, so I decided that why would I need to stress out if I could just move these over into August. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move these books over into August, And I already have them picked out. I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you. So the butterfly and the violin, I am putting for Austria. For the Netherlands, I have a Lynn Austin book, and that one is called Chasing Shadows. So those are the two books that I will be reading for this month. Now let's get into the readathons. There were some booktuber friends that I had here that all came up with readathons for August, and I really do want to support them, and so I tried to pick books that would fit with these readathons and that they could fit with other readathons. So I did a lot of juggling around. So the first readathon that I want to mention that I will be participating is Keep Me in Suspense Readathon, and this is hosted by Caitlin at Chronicles of a Book Nerd and Jeanette at Jane Reads. And this, they have a nice board for you, but basically, you read suspense books, mystery, thriller, suspense, and I think they said you have to at least read one, and you can count yourself participated, and you can fill it up with other books. So I really am honing in on that. So I'm going to go through the prompts for you. And so the first one is called Partners, 2 or More POVs. And for that, I'm putting Lulu's Cafe by T.I. Lowell. The next one is Rookie, a debut book. And The Butterfly and the Violin is actually Christy Cambron's debut novel. So that worked out perfectly. The next one is 911 Call, under 250 pages. I am putting Sarah Plain and Tall because that is 64 pages according to Goodreads. New Case File, first in a series. That one I'm putting Sarah Plain and Tall. Okay, the next one is Follow the Evidence, a mystery / suspense. That one I'm putting Everywhere to Hide, and that one's going to be my mystery and suspense book for, this readathon. The next one is Backup Friend Recommendation, and Katie recommended this on her channel. Katie's my friend, so I added that Everywhere to Hide in that spot. The next prompt is Cold Case. Case Closed. Read a standalone, and Everywhere to Hide is a standalone. The last prompt is Cold Case, a TBR vet, and Lulu's Cafe is definitely a TBR vet. So those are all the books that I will be reading for that readathon. I didn't have to add any extra book for that, so that worked out perfectly. The next readathon that I will be doing is the Prairie Trail, and this is hosted by Anne at In Search of Wonder. I've never played the game, but I found it very intriguing when Anne was explaining it. So we're going to go ahead and try the Prairie Trail readathon. And she has a list of prompts, and I'm just going to see what books would match up. But the first most important prompt is the dysentery prompt, because that one is supposed to be the first book you're supposed to read before all these other books count. At least my understanding. So the prompt is, the only way to survive this prompt is to read a novel about pioneer life or westward expansion. So for that one, I'm putting Sarah Plain and Tall, and that one's going to be the first book I'm reading this month, and then all the other books will fit the other prompts. I will play as I go. All right. The next readathon I'm doing is End of Summer Jam, and this is hosted by Christy at Christy A. Cole, and I know she has a list of people. I know like Reese is part of it. I think Lucy is, and I'm sure there's others who are co-hosts, and if I can find all of them, I'll try to put them all down, but I will for sure put Christy down because I know she created it. So this one essentially is just a list of prompts based off of the books that you read. So she has a template where it has 1 through 9, and like the first book you read of the month goes with the first prompt. Then the second book, the second prompt. And so it's just, you know, prompts that make you reflect on what you have read. And so this is very unique, and I already put Sarah Plain and Tall as my first book. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing that as well. And then last but not least, I am doing Retoldathon, and this is hosted by Macy at the Brightside Girl. And I just completed her mermaid marathon readathon, and have a vlog for that. I'm working on the second vlog. This is just reading retellings, so not only fairy tale retellings, but a lot of other ones. So she has a bingo board, and she has a list of prompts as well as Instagram challenges. So I'm planning on doing the Instagram challenges, and I'm planning on doing the 5 mandatory reading challenges. And then if I can fill in the bingo slots with whatever I read, I'll go for it. But she's only doing this for a week, so we'll see how much reading I can get done. That will be later on in the month, and I will be vlogging it. Last but not least, I'll tell you what I'm reading for my challenges. So for my challenge, these are the books of the Bible that you get to choose from: Romans, 1st and 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, or Ephesians. So I'm actually going to be reading the book of Ephesians because I had found this at a thrift store, and this is the Wersherby Bible Study Series, and it says gaining the things that money can't buy. And so I will be working through this in my devotional times. And then a prompt for August is to read a book of the Bible that Paul needs to be in the retelling. And I only had one book that I could get a hold of that was not a reread, and that one is going to be The Apostle's Sister by Angela Hunt. I only read one series by her, and I know that she's so beloved here on YouTube. I'm willing to give her another go. I am not in no means trying to say she's a bad author. It's just, she was just an author that I just didn't enjoy reading her works from, but again, it could change for this one. Then the next challenge that I'm doing is Journey Through Time by Alma, and this book has to be published or set in the 1980s, and Sarah Plain and Tall was actually published in the 1980s. So this book works for that. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to hearing what readathons you guys might be participating in. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye, guys.